Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Step and this is going to be part 5 of my early campaign where I'm playing as Egypt. And I'm ready to go folks, yeah, I'm set for this one. I'm mentally in the zone. No more Red Bull this time, yeah, that was a mistake. Yeah, if you ever think about drinking Red Bull and playing Total War at the same time, just don't do it. Yeah, it's a bad experience. I think anything is a bad experience with Red Bull, honestly. But yeah, that was that was a mistake. Today I'm just drinking tea. Just some normal ginger tea. I find that might help with talking for 2 hours. Typically my recording sessions go on for 2 hours and sometimes my mouth will dry out, so I feel like ginger tea kind of helps out with that a little bit, maybe. Or it could just be a placebo effect as well. I find that caffeine dries the mouth out. It's bad. Yeah, it's a bad combination, but I'm ready to go for this episode, and I'm ready to... I want to get some navies in the water. Yeah, I think it's time for that, because I'm 2 turns away before my shipwright is finished here in Egypt. And then I can start building boats. My economy is looking a little bit rough right now. I'm down to 506 projected profits, and I'm going to be spending 1,000 florins on a keep here in Palestine in this turn, and then in the next turn I will be reinforcing Antioch. A couple of my sons will go down there, or go up there. Prince Baybars will lead the army, and his brother Prince Nazir will come along as well. And these forces will just support Antioch, and maybe... Yeah, I want to keep the Turks on my good side, you know? And the fact that they have 2 stacks here in Syria kind of makes me nervous, but maybe they're just also matching my build-up as well. You know, I didn't want it to be this way, but I do have to defend my territories. So, here we are. And yeah, once I've reinforced Antioch, then I can spend another 1,000 florins on a keep for Antioch. So, I'm pretty close to having keeps not finished being built, but, you know, at least being worked on in each of my provinces. Yeah. I think, yeah, this keep in Tripoli is more than halfway done. Sinai is like halfway done. Palestine is going to start this turn. Antioch next turn. And then Arabia a little bit down the ways, I think. Just because for now, really I just needed Arabia to help bolster my early game armies. You know, archers, spears, camels, all that fun stuff. So, I think that I'm going to continue training archers here in Sinai in Arabia, just because those seem like good units to counter anything that I might have to fight this early in the campaign. Something else, you know what, actually, can I get Saharan Cav here? Yeah, I should get Saharan Cav in Arabia. That's the one thing that I'm kind of missing, is some really nice light cav. My only mounted soldiers that I can train are camels, and they're slow as heck. So, yes, like they're good versus other cavalry, sure, but camels, they're not really useful for chasing down light infantry, right? Or even light cavalry. Now, I liked it better the way that this was balanced in Shogun, because in Shogun the cav archers are slower than the light cav. Which is a nice balance, right? It means that they can always get caught by the fastest unit in the game, which is the Yari Cav. In this game, the basic horse archers are actually amongst the fastest units in the game. They are the same speed, I believe, as the Saharan Cav, which can be trained here in Arabia. It's the fastest of the light cav. It's the weak, fast type. You know, there's essentially 2 types of light cav. There's the ones that are a bit slower, but they can fight better. And then there's the ones that are super fast, but they're still at the same speed as the basic horse archers that are available to the Turks. So that balance is a little bit off, I think. It makes it so that the only real way to counter these units is to shoot them with archers. That does work, you can do that. But to sort of push them away and make room for, you know, your army, you just have to kind of dedicate a unit of light cav to chase them. And there's a good chance that they can never catch them because the horse archers are the same speed. So, yeah, it's a little bit dodgy. You know, you're essentially wasting a unit of light cav to just zone out one unit of horse archers, which, you know, if they have like, you know, a bunch of force archers, you're not going to be really getting your value back out of that unit of light cav that you are, you know, sending for that purpose. So it's a little bit dodgy, but still, you know, it's a nice tool to have just in case. And they're also, the light cav are very, very useful for chasing down, you know, infantry, right? The archers, they can put pressure on the desert archers, the basic archers, and they can charge into the rear if any like infantry engagements, which look into these armies, there would be none. You know, this is all just like, you know, cav and archers and shit and stuff like that, camels. But yeah, the horse farmer, it's cheap building, another 200 florins, 2 years. Let's get that going. Let's do that, may as well. And I think that's going to be it for this turn. Let's see, yep, that's going to be waiting. Taxes are still very high, everyone's happy, everyone loves paying high taxes, that looks good. Yep. Everyone's happy. My Sultan is getting up there in age, he is 53. So he is, I think, in the years of his life where there's a random chance that he might pass away from natural causes. For a time, I thought that that was going to be the age 57, but I have seen people die rarely, of old age before the year 87 or 57. I've seen it happen. It really scared me when it happened. It happened in a practice campaign when I was playing as the English, and early in the campaign, before I even had a chance for one of my heirs to come of age, my king died at like the age 52 or something, and it just blew my mind. I lost the campaign, you know, it was just a practice campaign, but still, I was like, holy shit, that actually can happen. I had no say in the matter. It was an early game, you know, it was literally, he just died before his eldest son came of age. I was like, what? How's that happen, you know? So, yeah, that can happen. But in this case, I do have 3 sons that are of age, so I would be fine if he passes away. It'd be kind of funny, though. Not funny, but like, you know, if the guy like lives his entire life and doesn't have to fight any battles, that'd be kind of wild. But yeah, this is that kind of campaign, right? We're just gonna be chilling out. Now, I did take a peek, and I saw that the Byzantines are now not only at war with the Turks, but they're also at war with the Italians. That's interesting. Now, I looked at the provinces that they own, because I have seen sometimes the Italians will use their navy to attack from Venice into Byzantine-owned Greece. I've seen that with my own campaigns when I've played as the Byzantines. However, the Byzantines still own Greece, so I don't know if that's what happened, or the Italians still own all of their territories. I wonder, maybe they just had a naval engagement, that might be it, but still, anything that sort of distracts the Byzantines from the Turks, I think is going to be good. And I myself would like to assist the Turks if I could. I know it seems like a contrary sort of idea, because I will eventually be tasked with taking Syria, and therefore I will have to go to war with the Turks to do so. So you would think like I would be fine with there being a bit of a balance up here, but I kind of want a strong Turkish neighbor. And I feel like, and I don't know if this is true, but I kind of feel like maybe I can get a ceasefire with the Turks once I take Syria. Yeah, maybe. But an idea of mine is maybe if I can get a fleet going and I can connect my territories to Constantinople, maybe I can stack Constantinople. And by doing that, I don't want to take anything or sack anything that's bordering Turkish-owned territory, because then they could attack me. But I simply just want to sack a kind of a deep-end province, and then just get out, and then let it go rebel, essentially, or let it be retaken by the Byzantines before the Turks show up. You know, I don't want them to have to go to war with me to take a good province. So that's kind of like a way of me thinking that maybe I can sort of help the Turks take on the Byzantines by sort of sacking some of these back territories. I think that'd be kind of a fun, flavorful way of, you know, doing things here. And the Almohads are still chilling out. In fact, they're not only chilling out, but they're not at war with anyone. They have not attacked the Spanish or, yeah, I wonder if have they taken Valencia by now? No. Oh, what? What is going on? Not only have they not taken Valencia, but they've lost Tunisia and Morocco? Is that to rebels or a civil war or something? What's going on here? What is going on? It says they're not at war. Do they just have a civil war going on right now? Oh, I'm so curious. Huh, so they've lost Tunisia and Morocco. That's not good. They kind of need those. Huh, yeah, okay, interesting. Well, sucks to suck, I guess. Anyway, moving on with us, right? I think, so my emissary up here, he is checking out Prince Osman. 4 stars, pretty good, great warrior. And they have some Armenian heavy cav, that's pretty scary. Yeah, that's a good heavy cav unit, especially for this period of the campaign. I would still think that my spears plus my camels could beat it, I think. But yeah, pretty good unit. 3 Valor. It's getting the +1 Valor from Armenia, so yeah, that's pretty scary stuff. It can be trained from just a horse breeder, a tier 2 building, a tier 2 you know, horse training building. They're fantastic units. So all the more reason to get my own cavalry. My Saharan Cav won't be able to beat Armenian heavies, that's for sure. But still, I need some faster units to throw into battles if it comes to that. And that should give them an edge versus the Byzantines. Like, it's not going to beat a cataphract, I don't think, but that's a good unit. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. Anyway, is my emissary up here? You're going to talk to the French, are you? Yes. I want to see if I can get that alliance with them. And then we will go on and try to find the German king after that. So let's drop a save and end this turn. Abu Hamad al-Ghazali is one of Islam's greatest scholars, a jurist, philosopher, mystic, and the father of Sufism. His work rejects both Aristotle and the rationalism of much Islamic thinking, focusing instead on the religion's mystical aspects. His philosophy of Islam is deeply appealing, bringing many into the faith in Turkish provinces. And anytime this message says something about a certain faction's provinces, it's a little bit confusing because we don't know if this is referring to the provinces that they all currently own right now, or is this just referring to the home territories of the Turks? Yeah, we don't know, you know, because we see messages like this, for instance, with like zeal being raised in certain provinces. And we don't know if it's referring to just the region or everything owned by that faction. So yeah, I don't know, but for in this case, this is bringing more. So just the percentage of people that are following Islam is going to be boosted in these provinces. Muhammad al-Mustali, he's a drinker, -1 command. Yep, that's not good. Khalil al-Labi. Who is that? One of these guys? Strange, -1 morale, -10 happiness. Yeah, it's not good. That is no good. Alright, well, nothing happened there, and one more turn before the shipwright is finished, and then we can start building boats. Alright, now 2 turns later, the keep in Tripoli has been finished. And the shipwright has been finished here in Egypt as well. Horse farmer finished here in Arabia. And, yes, the French king does not want an alliance. Yeah, he's already planning that crusade. He's not going to be fooled. He's like, dude, I'm already building the crusade marker. Alright, so no go on that. Yeah, well, in that case, how is your war against the Germans going? In fact, are you still at war with them? Yeah, the French are at war with the English and the Germans. Yeah, alright, well, let's go check in on... Have they lost any territory? Antioch, Tripoli, Palestine. What about the English? Have they lost territory? Normandy and Anjou. Yeah. So, yeah, the English have lost these 2 territories, but they still hang on to Aquitaine, I believe? Let's go see if we can find the French or the English king and we can maybe talk to him. And then I believe the Almohads, did they take back? They took back Morocco, but they still haven't taken back Tunisia. Now, can I, so I have 574 florins. Please, is that enough? Oh, that feels bad. Oh, that feels bad. I'm short. I'm short by 36 florins, or 26 florins. Oh, God. Oh, no. Okay, one more turn, then I can start building my first boat. Jesus. Oh, money is tight. Yeah, money is tight, making $3.95 per turn. Oh, that's a bad feeling. Anyway, whatever, it's not the end of the world, it's fine. Everything's fine. It happens. The Danish start is slow. Yeah, the Danish start, like, trying to get those first few boats out as the Danes. Oh, that's painful. That's so painful. But the good news is, I have my keep, you know, it's started here in Antioch, and I got a keep started here in Palestine. So those are like the big early game expenses that are out of the way, essentially. And now just get those boats out. I just need 2 boats, essentially. One for here, and then one for the Eastern Mediterranean, and then I will start making money. Ooh, I need the trading post. 800 florins. Okay, it's fine. Don't train anything else. Just save up for 2 boats and a trading post, and everything will be fine. Although, 3 stacks, 3 Turkish stacks. It's just all camels and horse archers, though. It's hard to be that intimidated by this. Like, yeah, that's a lot of bodies. It's a lot of arrows. It's a lot of bodies. It's a lot of arrows. The main issue is that... So Antioch and Palestine are both building keeps. So no matter what, I really, really don't want to have to withdraw from either of these 2 territories. Tripoli, though, is not building anything, and therefore... I mean, all I have here is a border fort and a port. If I just wanted to leave it with 2 peasants and then, you know, bring my sultan down to Palestine to help bolster that. The only thing that makes me nervous about that is that if Antioch gets attacked, then it would take me 2 turns to reinforce from Palestine. That makes me a little bit nervous. Yeah. A little bit nervous. The other thing that I can do is swap this around, just to keep my family line safe, because this is my sultan and this is my first in line, Prince Al-Mustali. So maybe what I can do is bring these guys down to Palestine, and then bring Al-Afdal up to Tripoli. That way these guys can be safe, you know? Because if they need to retreat, they can, you know, end up in maybe Sinai or somewhere else. Yeah, it's a little bit dodgy. That's a lot of forces. It really is. Guys, can you not just focus on the Byzantines? You're still at war, are you not? Yeah, you're still fighting them. So, frickin' fight them, man. Huh, fort influence. Did the Byzantines take back a territory? No, but they lost Greece. So yeah, that must be to the Italians. Just that's exactly what I was just saying. So the Byzantines have lost Greece to the Italians. Huh. Guys, that's really good for you. You could be doing more. Yeah, this ain't much. You could attack Trebizond for sure. Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely attack Trebizond. What about Anatolia? Yeah, these forces could be so much better spent elsewhere. Okay, the Byzantines are the richest, and their emperor is still in Kiev. Huh, that's, it's an interesting place to be when you're being attacked by two other factions. How did he just, like, use his navy to invade Kiev, and now he's stuck up there? Because his navy got stomped by the Italian navy? Is that what happened? And I saw a little bit of it back and forth between the Byzantines and the Turks here in Rum. So, have the Turks, they didn't lose Rum, did they? No, they still own Rum. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, Turks, come on, like there's literally only one family member here in Anatolia. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, what's going on in Rum? Let's go see. Okay, this is much, much better. Oh, thank God. This is nice. Yes, very nice. They moved 2 of those stacks out of Syria. That really makes me feel a lot better. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, please redirect those forces against the Byzantines, please and thank you. And yes, now we can finally start building our first boat. They're called the Dhow. And so the Dhow is a small trading and military ship found throughout the Arab world. It is fast and maneuverable, able to use light winds to enter any fight and also stay out of reach of more powerful enemies. Dhows carry no weapons, their crews attack by grappling and boarding. So it's going to cost 600 florins to build this, and then it's going to cost 20 florins to support it. Now it can only operate in coastal waters. It has an attack and defense of 1 and then a speed of 3. Now the fastest boat is a speed of 4. I believe there's 2 boats with a speed of 4. That being the Dromon, which is available to the Byzantines. It's a very fast, annoying ship. And then there's a high tier boat. Is it the Carrack that's available to the Catholic factions, which is that's their highest tier boat, and I believe that also has a speed of 4. But for now, the Dhow is it's going to be a fine vessel, and the way that this works is that the coastal boats. Let's see if I can show you. So when it says coastal waters, that means that it can only be in sea regions that do border any land. There's only 3 provinces or sea regions in the entire game which do not border any land, and that's going to be the Central Mediterranean. Don't be fooled by Malta. It's not there. It's there. It's a little bit confusing. And then I think that's the same with Rhodes. Like Rhodes isn't in the Eastern Mediterranean. It's in the is it the Deccanese? The Deccanese Sea? Yeah. Anyway, Central Mediterranean is going to be a deep water region, and then also the Western Mediterranean is going to be a deep water region, and then the Atlantic Ocean is going to be a deep water region. Not the North Atlantic. This borders Ireland and also Scotland, so therefore coastal vessels can go in the North Atlantic, which is a little bit funny, but yeah. So it's just these 3 sea regions, and having those boats, those deep water vessels, is very, very vital. It's a big, big boost to be able to have boats that can go in those regions, just because it makes your trade lines more resilient to attack, because you need a connected trade line to make money off of ports. All it takes is an enemy fleet to be blocking your trade lines, and therefore you're not making any more money. But with boats in the deep sea regions, you can always circumvent any like single blockage. Like, you know, if there's an enemy boat in the Africa coast, it's fine because you can, you know, use the Gulf of Gabes to the Western Mediterranean back down to the Barbary, the Straits of Gibraltar, and just, you know, so on and so forth. You get the idea. So it just kind of makes things a bit more resilient in regards to your trade lines. And also, deep sea vessels can move to sea regions at a time, which just, you know, it's a lot faster, right? So yeah, they're very good boats. But for now, all we have access to is the Dhows. Typically, to get deep sea region boats, you need to wait for the Compass event before you can start building those boats. The Muslim factions have an enormous advantage by being able to build Bagalas, which is our tier 2 boat. And I'm pretty sure I remember this correctly. We don't need to wait for that Compass event. I think we can just build, I guess we can just tech straight up to a castle and then build the second tier ship building, and then start building baglas, I think. I think there's no other requirements necessary for that. Castles are a steep investment, though. What would that require? 2,000 florins? Not that much, but yeah. More than I can do right now, for sure. But anyway, really all I want is getting those boats out. That's going to take 3 turns to build, so in the meantime, what I can do is save up enough money, hopefully. Yeah, it might take 2 turns, actually. But yeah, 2 turns whenever I can. I'm going to build up this trading post. It costs 800 florins, but that is going to allow me to make money off of my trade goods, which are here in Egypt, the cotton and the ivory. So yeah, you need a port, a trading post, and then those connected trading fleets to make money. So it's a bit of a process, really, you know, like it's a bit like it's more in Rome. I mean, it's way easier in Rome. All you have to do is like build the dockyard or whatever. And in this game, you actually have to kind of like, you know, do some work to build your fleets up a bit, which I actually do like. I like that it kind of takes work because it's so powerful. The money that you make off trade is so powerful. I think it's a good thing that that it asks a lot out of you. You know, and I think it's a good thing that it's so fragile. Whereas like, you know, in Rome, it's just kind of, it's a little bit more mindless. You just kind of like point and click. You just like build a port, build a dockyard. Like it's just, yeah, it just makes you money. In this game, it's just like you have to kind of think about it a little bit and plan things a little bit. But yeah, anyway, moving on. All right, we got a keep finished here in Sinai. That feels pretty good. Prince Baybars, what do you got? Educated, +1 acumen. All right, that's good. Amir Ilghazi of Aleppo, great builder, +10 happiness and +1 loyalty. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we cannot start building that trading post yet. Sad, sad puppy noises. Yeah, still a little bit short before I can start building that. But yeah, we'll get there eventually. And we're back to having 3 stacks of Turks here in Syria. I was afraid that wasn't going to last. What in the hell is going on here? What in the heck? So, Rum is, like, essentially the Turkish capital. The Byzantines took it, and then the Turks took it back. And now these Byzantine forces have 1 turn left before this falls, and this force is all going to be gone, unless there's a response from the Byzantines. Yeah, just crazy stuff going on. I just want to keep watching this. So they've taken Greece back from Italy, I imagine. The Almohads still don't have Tunisia back. And are the French still at war with the Germans? Yes, they are. Okay. So I'm sending my emissary to talk to the English. We will see how fruitful that discussion can be. And then after that, we will see if we can find a German king as well. Ooh, no, I don't think so, Byzantines. I don't think so. They want that alliance, and I would rather keep my alliance with the Turks and the Italians. So, yeah, no. And, yeah, English, same thing. The English also don't want that alliance, so, yeah, interesting. Everyone that's looking in my direction for their crusades somehow doesn't want an alliance. Yeah, that's smart AI. Charitable, let's see, so, Abur al-Mahdi, +10 happiness. But he's not a governor, so it does not really matter. And yeah, I just want to keep watching what's going to happen up here. I just want to keep watching this front lines and what's going to go down. So yes, now we can finally start building this trading post here in Egypt. And at the end of this turn, this dhow is going to be finished being built. And will we have enough money for another dhow? We might have to wait. Or no, we will. No, we will have enough money for another Dow. Yes. Okay. Good. Nice. Oh, that's gonna feel good. I don't like this though. The Elmheads are building up just a little bit here in Cyrenacia. And now they're up to 8 units here in Cyrenacia. Okay, well, let's get some units back down to Egypt just to make sure that this place stays safe. Because, yeah, the last thing I want is to lose Egypt. Or also to invite a war against the Almohads. Two things I don't really want to happen right now. Yeah, they still don't have Tunisia. Like, guys, focus on one thing at a time here. Take back your, homeland province. Maybe start a war against the Spanish. Stuff like that would be valuable, I think. But what do I know? Now, the Byzantine Emperor has died from an illness. So this might end up being okay for them because their last Byzantine Emperor was like stuck in Kiev, I think. And I'm imagining the heir is going to be crowned in Constantinople because the heirs are always crowned in the most built-up province of the faction. So at least they should have their heir on hand now to help them out against this, in this war against the Turks. Hey, this is good news. So you bask in the adoration of your subjects. No one else has such dedicated support from their populace. That's funny. That's something that you usually see from factions that either only have like one province, just because it's, a lot easier to keep one province happy. Or just in general, like the AI factions will see this message a lot. But hey, here we are, basking in the adoration of our subjects. Now the trading post has been finished here in Egypt, so that's very good news. And here, the Alexiad. So thanks to a failed plot against the Byzantine Emperor, Anna Komnena has had much time in a convent to pray, think, study, and write. Her work, the Alexiad, is a glorious history of her father and the Byzantine Empire, and imparts +1 influence to the Byzantine Emperor. Just what they need, more influence. And yeah, that does indicate that the new heir is back here in Constantinople as well. Alright, so Amir Nazir Adin, +2 acumen, +20 happiness. Okay, good for him. Actually, that is a governor, so yes, good for him. That's going to be more money and more happiness for whatever province he is the governor of. And then Prince Baybars, well-educated, +1 command, +1 acumen. That's good. That helps because he has that unfortunate incest trait, the Chinless Wonder. But now that's being countered out a little bit with well-educated. So overall, he's a good dude. 4 command, still no acumen, so that hasn't been balanced out enough. But natural leader's good too. +2 morale for the army that he's leading is a good trait. So we got that boat in the water. The dhow is now ready to go, and 2 turns before our second dhow has been built. So I have a little bit of a half stack here in Egypt just to make sure the Almohads behave themselves. Because yeah, Egypt is very important for me right now. I need my boats from Egypt. This is my only province that has a shipwright, so yes, I really need those boats pumping out. Oh, poor Prince Baybars. Yeah, the incest trait. So they do get worse. I thought they did. So this is scaling down worse. What was it before? Yeah, it used to be Chinless Wonder. Now it's odd number of toes. Prohibitions on intermarriage of cousins have rarely been obeyed in this man's family. So now it's -2 acumen and -2 command. Instead of -1 each, it's -2 each. That's bad. That's bad. He's still 3 stars, luckily, because of his other traits. And then Muhammad al-Mustali, he's also a Chinless Wonder. So yeah, man, a lot of incest running around here. It's a bad deal. And let's see, Ooh, okay. This is a little bit spicy. The Almohads have brought down one of their heirs, Prince Yusuf, 4-star general. Plenty of loyalty, natural leader. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Alright, well. I mean, we're fine here. We have a good general ourselves, 4 stars, Amir al-Ghazi of Aleppo. Fine leader, so that's +4 morale. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's a trait that you only see on historical generals. I don't think you ever see fine leader on just like a normal dude. So it's a little bit countered by strange, which is -1 morale. But yeah, but still a net of +3 morale. And he's still a 4-star general. And the troops are decent. 4 Nubian spears, 2 camels, including the general, and then 2 desert archers. That's okay, I think. Plus the 2 peasants in the garrison as well. So yeah, I feel okay with what I have for now. If they wanted to attack me, it's this that, you know, has me nervous. It's just the Turks are just piling it on. Ooh, and here's the Byzantine emperor as well. Yeah, just everyone is 7 stars. 7 stars, 7 stars. Just, man, this whole faction is... It's insane how they just get beat by the Turks in the beginning. You know, like, how is this losing? Right? How is this losing? Are they still... Yeah. So the Almohads have taken back Tunisia. Good for them. Bravo, bravo. And the Germans still don't have Franconia. And the English still don't have Normandy or Anjou. So yeah, that's another one. Like, I don't get how the French just do so well. It's really impressive, because if you look at the French position, now I've not even opened up a French campaign just to like just kind of play around with. So I guess I don't know, but by looking at them, they don't look strong. They look like they're trapped and in trouble. You know, it looks like it's kind of a dicey situation. So it's just very impressive to me that the AI French seem to always just do very well. They just take on the whole world, and they actually do well. You know, they can fight the Aragonese, the English, the Germans, the Italians, and just come out on top, which is pretty crazy stuff. But luckily, we don't really have to worry about them at this point in the campaign. We might have to later on. The French, if they like grow very strong and end up having very good points, then yes, we might have to go up there and kick some French butt just to teach them a lesson. But for now, we can kind of, you know, hang out down here and play our own game of trying to stay out of wars. And yeah, trying to prop up the Turks, you know, is any way that I can. If I can prop the Turks up, that's going to be nice. Now I have just a teensy-weensy bit of money to spend, so I'm wondering, should I build another shipwright here in Sinai? I do want shipwrights in all of these provinces at some point, so that I can just pump the DAOs out and get my trade really booming. Or I'm thinking about the mosque as well. Getting the mosque built in Egypt. I don't think that just means a tier 1 mosque. I think they're talking about the Grand Mosque, right? The upgraded version. And what year is that by? That is by the year 1204. So I do have plenty of time. But do I want to get a head start on it? I guess no, I don't need to. Let's just work on a shipwright. Yeah. Was that cost 400 florins, right? Yeah. So by building that, I still will have enough money for another boat next turn. Okay. Yeah, that's probably the best move, because I can crank out that mosque, and then what is it going to be? I need a mosque. And then, is it a castle or a citadel? I think it's a citadel before I build the Grand Mosque, maybe? Yeah, now that I'm thinking of it, that might be a long time. Yeah, I think I just changed my mind. Let's do a mosque instead. That costs 200, so it's a bit cheaper. And then, yeah, I'll do the shipwright next turn. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And that is the end of the road for Al-Afdal Shahinshah. My first historical general that I did start the campaign with. He actually did outlive my Sultan himself. Now, the good news is, the generals in this campaign, the unit that they commanded don't lose the stats that that general had. It's a bit of a bug, I suppose, in this game. Now, there's a way around that. There's kind of like a little command that you can put in. I think it's called Green Generals. Now, I've never used it because I think that would reset the stats for all of my generals. Not just, I don't think you can pick and choose which general unit you want to reset the stats for. So it's not a perfect solution by any means. So the way that I justify keeping these generals in my mind is that, hey, you know what? The man himself may have died, but you know, his unit will carry on his tradition. So the next unit commander for Afdal's unit will have all of the same vices and virtues as the man himself had, just because, you know, the unit is carrying on this man's tradition. So a little bit of a lore in my head helps keep this alive. All right, so we got the keep finish here in Antioch. That's a very good feeling. Famine in Sinai. Again, not a big deal. Sinai's making not a lot of money. It's very poor, so not a big deal. Prince Babar's inbred. Oh, God. That's really bad. -3 command, -3 acumen. Most men manage to have 8 great-grandparents, but this man has been badly shortchanged. Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. At least Amir Nazir Adin is doing well. He's up to +3 acumen now. Yeah, that's a very good one. Affable. Yeah, that's a great little trait there. And he is the king of Jerusalem? Yeah, so. Yeah, good stuff. Making 662 off of Palestine, and that's just farm income. You know, that's only with 1 farm upgrade as well. And how much? Yeah, he's up to 6 acumen. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's get this Dow out into the Eastern Mediterranean. That way we can start trading with the port here in Cyprus, Anatolia, and Lesser Armenia. Yes. And yeah, make some money. Let's get a Dow going here in Egypt, and that's going to be 600. And that's going to leave me with enough money to start building a shipwright here in Sinai. And just like that, we have 2 boats in the water, and we are up to 727 florins. Hey, it's not much, but it's something, right? It is something. So it's a nice little boost there. Egypt is now making 1244, which is pretty nice. And yes, we are two turns away before we have another boat in the water. Now, the fact that the Sicilians have a boat in the water as well makes me just a little bit nervous. Would they be planning an attack on me? Yeah. Well, it's a good thing that I have a boat in the water, because if I didn't, then they would be able to just strike any one of these provinces that border this region without having to, you know, first initiate the attack by sinking a boat. They could just kind of go on in with a surprise attack anywhere where they wanted to. At least in this case, if they attacked me, then I would know that it's going to be coming. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking. I think the galley, can this beat my boat? Actually, no. The Dow has better stats. The attack and defense are the same. The speed is better on my boat. The Dow has better speed. And both admirals are a 1-star command as well. So my Dow, that might be 50-50. I think speed just has to do with getting away. If I were to move this boat out of this sea region in the same turn that they tried to attack me, I think that that's where the speed comes into play. Whereas if I have the higher speed, then I can escape that attack. And same goes for like catching boats as well, right? So I think it would just be kind of like a toss-up between our stats and like the roll of the dice, basically, between those 2 boats. I think so. Now, one of my viewers has suggested that the defender typically seems to have the advantage in naval engagements, and just based on my anecdotal experience, I want to say that I agree with that. I think that this person in particular has way more experience playing these games than I do, so I think that for him it's quite conclusive. For me, I would still probably want another, you know, a good chunk of hours before I could say that with certainty, but it does seem like the defender has the advantage in naval engagements. I would like to hear your thoughts on this, because this is one of those things where the naval engagements in this game are just so... they're not really explained too well how they work. So it's kind of a toss-up. It's kind of just have more boats, have more better boats, and hope that goes well. In addition to that, though, there's also storms at sea that can sink boats, and that's just random. So that's why having those redundancies, like having boats in deep seawater regions, is so powerful. Because, yeah, if you lose a random boat to a storm, that's not going to just sink your entire trade income. But, yeah, in this case, as I said, we are 2 turns away before we have another dhow in the water. We are 3 turns away before this shipwright is finished here in Sinai. And do I start building another shipwright here in Palestine? Let's see. Yeah, I guess. Let's just go all in, right? Like, yeah, yes, the Turks are making me nervous. I've been nervous. But this is my plan. My plan is to go boats. And make that money, make that dough. It's just so nice to have a good income, because once you have that good income, then you can feel a little bit more free, you know, a little bit more loosey-goosey. You can kind of like just do whatever you want to do. You can experiment with agents. You can experiment with fun army comps that are like off meta. If you want to use guns, use guns. If you want to use naphtha throwers, use naphtha throwers. You know, like I said before, if you want to use agents and kind of try to cause havoc behind enemy lines, using your agents, you can do that. You're more free to do all of these sorts of fun plans if you are just filthy rich. If you're not filthy rich, then you have to just kind of play to stay alive and win, which I guess that can't have its own level of excitement. I guess I like having that comfortable freedom to be able to follow my imagination and play. You know, like I'm playing here, right? And exploring something. That's what it kind of feels like to me. So that's why I go this route. That's why I try to build my fleets up and, you know, really maximize my trade income, because I do really enjoy the freedom of what the rest of the campaign feels like with that comfortable amount of wealth. I do, and at some point, maybe I do want to play a campaign where I don't do this trade meta as like a first option. That's something that I'm keeping in the back of my mind. It is. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, and I'm looking at a faction that it would make sense to do. It just hasn't made sense yet with all of the factions that I've played so far. So far, it just has felt very normal and comfortable to do this. Build trade, make money, and then play. Play the game and be free and kind of just explore and learn things, you know? So the Byzantines are still the richest faction. That's interesting. And the King of France has died from an illness. Okay, well, I wonder if they're going to be okay. Thoughts and prayers, France. Thoughts and prayers. So yes, the Germans have also... They've also denied my request for an alliance. So the German king is in Swabia. Okay, that's a little bit confusing. I was like, why am I looking at Franconia? Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So the Germans, the French, and the English have all said no. That seems to indicate that my cheeky little plan of like crusade blocking them, they're too smart for me. Yeah, they're on it. They're like, no, we plan on messing you up. Like, watch out for it, boy. Like, we're coming for you. So, yeah, I couldn't get anything past them. The Italians and the Aragonese, they must like not care at all. They're like, yeah, no, we're not. They're like, trust us, we're not going to get our shit together. We're not going to be able to crusade against you. But the other factions still think so. Although, there's no way in hell that England's going to be able to threaten me. Yeah, England's in rough shape. They're losing a lot of territory. I think they've lost Wessex to France, last I checked. Like, they're just getting pushed back. Let's see. Mohammed al-Mustali, another incest trait. Odd number of toes. Man, bad shit. Mohammed al-Adil. So this is the new captain. The new captain for al-Afdal's unit. Mohammed al-Adil. Interesting. So deep thinker. So this man's ability to think clearly about any problem gives him insight denied to an ordinary man, but perhaps at the cost of unquestioning faith. -3 piety, +3 acumen. Also, one of my favorite things about navies in this game is the vision it gives you on the map. Now I can spy on other factions' provinces without having an agent in those provinces. Now, of course, this only works on coastal regions, but it's still so cool and it's so organic. It just feels so good to be able to have this vision, and there is counterplay. Yes, there is. There's natural, easy, common sense counterplay. Guess what it is? If there's a boat belonging to that faction, also in that same sea region, then they are blocking your fleet's vision into their territory. So you can still see the things, you know, you can still see what kind of settlement it is. You can still see like the banner and the stars, but you won't be able to click onto the province and see, ooh, what do they have here? Ooh, yeah, wow. You can't click on the stacks and be, ooh, what do they have here? Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, no, that vision is going to be blocked by that fleet, that boat that is in that sea region. Yeah, with your own boat. So it's a really common sense, natural. It just feels so good. It's just a really good system, and I love getting vision on the rest of this map. For those of you who are new to this channel, I'm kind of OCD about this. I don't even look. It's not even OCD, okay? It's smart to have vision on the map, okay? Right? Like that's what I want. I want to know what's happening everywhere. That's why you can continue to see me, like, anytime I see a message that's about another faction and it shows me where their king is or their emperor is, I'm curious. I want to know because it tells a story. It's giving me information that I otherwise would not have. You know, here in Swabia, what's going on here? What do they have? Fun stuff? Not really. What about the emperor? What's going on with him? 5 influence? Ooh, drinker, -1 command, and that's going to get worse. Yeah, that's like incest. It's not going to get better. That's going to get worse. And since they've all said no to me, let's go down and see if we can talk to the Spanish. Maybe the Spanish will accept an alliance. Actually, no, I don't want to. I don't really want to attack the I do want to attack the Spanish. So my idea is that if it comes down to it, it would kind of be fun to play Puppet Master with this campaign, where if I can get boats, as I mentioned before, if I can attack Constantinople and sort of weaken the Byzantines and therefore give the Turks a bit more breathing room, I would like to do that. Likewise, if I could do the same thing with the Spanish, maybe attack them in a way so that the Almohads have more breathing room in Iberia, I would like that as well. I think that would just be kind of a fun play style that I've never really done before. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I might just be forced to fight the Turks and fight the Almohads. I know that I will because of my upcoming GA objectives. But it would be nice to kind of take those provinces and then go back to having a ceasefire, perhaps. I wouldn't mind that. But yeah, we will see. Maybe my hopes and dreams of a Muslim Brotherhood will be dashed, and maybe I will just be forced to go all out, you know, conquer here. Yeah, guess we'll find out. And that is the end for the Egyptian Sultan. He has died, but luckily, his eldest son is still alive, so he will be taking over. And yes, the Holy Roman Emperor as well. So the mosque has been completed here in Egypt. It's going to be curious to see if that does finish or complete that GA objective. I want to see if that's true or not. I don't think it is, but yeah, here we go. Famine in Arabia as well. Income halved. Prince Baybars, he's trying his best to overcome his port efficiency. Highly educated, so... okay, so this is interesting. So, this is... you would think it would be an upgrade over being educated, right? But it's not, because educated, if I remember correctly, gave him +1 acumen, +1 command. Highly educated is -1 piety. Yeah. Yes, he is questioning things just a little bit too much. Interesting. Khalid Abu Sharif, or Sharaf, Secret Pride, +3 Valor. He's just a peasant, so he's a badass peasant. He's gonna fight like mad. Yeah, and then secret blackmailer. That's a bad one. That means that he's going to be losing loyalty once that's discovered. So yeah, that's a bad one. All right, so now my new sultan is down here in Egypt. Let's move him back up to Palestine, I think. And now that I have my boat in the water, now I can do this in one turn. That feels much, much better. How's this influence? Ooh, 4 influence. Ugh, doesn't feel good. How's general's loyalty? That's something that's worth checking in on. 3 loyalty down here. Yeah, okay, that's borderline, isn't it? Ooh, 1 loyalty. Okay, so yeah. It's a good thing that I'm moving the sultan back to this stack because, yeah, there would be a chance of, let's try to take him out. There, that's fine. Now if like if he has a civil war, he's just leading himself. He's not leading the whole stack. So yeah, 5 loyalty on him. And having the sultan back in the province should keep all of these guys in check anyway. What about up here? He's fine. He's fine. No. No, not Baybars. Baybars 3 loyalty. That's not good. Yeah, it's a little bit dicey. It's a little bit dicey. And I know, let's see, Prince Muhammad. So we have 3. Nazir. Okay, so Prince Khalil is the 4th son of my last sultan. But then Prince Muhammad and then Prince Salih, or Salih, these are the 2 sons of my new sultan. Okay, that's interesting. So the guys are the same age, but he is going to be the new heir, not Prince Khalil. It's going to be Prince Muhammad. Okay. So that's good news. And also there's a cap on this as well. There's a cap in how many heirs you can have, and that is counting the brothers. So the brothers of the current sultan is going to be Baybars, Nazir, and then Khalil. And you can't have more than 6 heirs, so that means he already has 2 sons on the way. So you can have 1 more son on the way, eventually. But no more than that, because that's going to be 6 heirs in total. It's a dumb system. It is, because you can get in a sort of a tricky situation where you have 5 brothers and therefore you can only have 1 son, and yeah, it can get a little bit complicated to have to deal with all of that. A bit stressful, I'd say. But yeah, now we have another boat here, so let's move him along and get a boat here in the Dodecanese Sea so we can trade with Rhodes. And yes, we are working on 1 turn before this shipwright in Sinai is finished, and then 2 turns before the shipwright in Palestine is finished. Tripoli, they're working on a shipwright as well. And yeah, we're up to 1,200 florins. That feels good. We're making, yeah, still 1,244. Nothing's changed there. And so I feel like we're really walking a tight line here, right? Like it's just really kind of treacherous, you know, with kind of going as light as we are on our military. We do have 3 stacks. That's good, but they're 3 stacks that are spread out. And that's a little bit scary, having stacks spread out, because they could potentially get picked off. Yeah, it's a little bit scary, but man, if we can pull it off, and if we can get these boats in the water and get this money flowing, things are going to start to feel very comfortable indeed. But you know what? That is all going to have to wait until next time. As always, I hope you have enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Concept playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.